one. Today I'm coming to you with easily the best figure from the brand new X-Men Retro Wave. I'm coming to you, of course, with a review on the brand new Marvel Legends Spiral. Now, this has been a figure that we have been wanting Hasbro to put out again, I think. I think they've made one already, or was that Toy Biz? Correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been Hasbro in the early years, but now that I think about it, I think it was Toy Biz, but we have been wanting an updated version. It wasn't looking too likely after we got that abysmal 6-arm Spidey. In my opinion, that thing is not good by any means, and this absolutely nails everything that we want with this. Honestly, it's so good to the point it feels like a custom. That's how good it is to me. It feels not like something that you would just find in store on a peg, open it, and this is what you get. This feels like something that might have had a whole bunch of extra work done to it once purchased, but that is not the case, and that's why I love this piece so much. So without further ado, let's get into the brand new X-Men Retro Series Spiral. So before we go over the figure, I do want to go over her box here. It is in the retro card, and her bio reads Marvel's Spiral. Spiral, Mojo's deadly enforcer, possesses additional cybernetic limbs, powerful mystic abilities, and a deep enmity for her former flame long shot, which is included in the wave. I think it is so awesome that these two are included in the same wave. It just gives this wave a little bit of a theming, even though it is already amazing. Marvel Legends, Marvel Lig Classic Marvel Spiral. That's the name, and it got her at GameStop Canada. Front of the box, you can see a beautiful image of Spiral there. I wish I could credit who drew that, because that is definitely Hasbro's work. I feel like I know who, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But whoever did this is absolutely beyond talented. This is great. This is beautiful. It looks exactly like her. Sorceress, Swords, Marvel's Spiral, the 4 heroes that are included in the wave. I love how the sword is going across multiple man's face, the uncanny X-Men, and the sword is piercing through the card on the other side. It's kind of funny. But let's get on to the actual figure now. So for accessories with the Spiral figure, she's included with a lot. She gets 4 katanas, as you can see here. They're all the same. They do have the same exact ends as well. They look really, really good though. So if you want to have her just with her hands, you could give these to other figures, but I doubt that's what you want to do. And then she's also included with this sword, which has been used before. I think maybe for a Zemo, but I could be wrong. Maybe Black Knight. I don't know. And then this was the Angela, I think that's her name, from the Guardians of the Galaxy Titus Build-A-Figure wave. This is the little piece that we've gotten with her, but this is cool to get with Spiral nonetheless. So very cool weapons, but she's also included with a set of extra hands, which is odd to me because I feel like I don't want to even go in the realm of dissing this figure because I love it so much, but I feel like they could have maybe included 1 or 2 extra hands on top of this, because we do get a fist for this side and we get an open hand. I feel like it would have been nice to get a fist or open hand for this side as well, but whatever, I digress. Now on to the actual figure. This thing is just insane. I don't even know where to start, but I just really want to give props to Hasbro for making this thing a reality. They really went all out with this figure. This retro wave certainly has had its ups and downs for sure, but when you look at it overall, it is a decent amount of reuse, and I do think I can say that all of that, 5 times that, hell, is worth the price of this figure, if that's what it takes to get 5 reuses or whatever, a couple new pieces with those figures just to get this. I'm all here for it because this piece is so amazing. It is an entirely new sculpt, which is crazy. This is all new. The head sculpt looks absolutely amazing here. The eyes came out so nice, and that is using the photo reel, so that is definitely a bonus with the figure. The lipstick looks great, and the hair is in this awesome white color. She does have this kind of samurai style helmet, which looks very, very nice. I did watch the animated series episode with her in it, the Mojo World one, and she's awesome. I love her character, and I love Mojo. And then her legs going down here. I'm going to wait to do the arms till afterwards, but here you can see the legs. They do have these pouches on them. They are pinless, which looks great. And then she does have these fur pieces, which aren't new. I should have said this isn't entirely new reuse because I believe these are from a Black Cat figure or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. Another thing is, this is on my figure like this. The foot really comes off easily just on that side though. It doesn't come off on this side, and the end of that joint looks a little bit weird. So I don't know, but it isn't a huge problem at all. Goes in, fits, works, spins still, nothing wrong with it. Now, for the torso and the arms, how they did this is absolutely amazing. So you can see that the torso appears to be a little bit thicker than a normal torso would be for at least a female figure, because it does have the extra 4 arms that they normally wouldn't have had. And the way they did that is they just literally put it on the top joint, which allows us to have ab crunch, which is so necessary with this figure, and I'm so happy it's there. So they put the arms in this top joint, and they put 6 on this one joint. I kind of want to see what it would look like without them, but that just came out absolutely flawless in my opinion. They all look very, very good, and all the arms are pinless. Oh my goodness, and double jointed. This thing is so good, and this is the type of figure which I'm happy Hasbro waited to do, because they definitely couldn't have done this 2 years ago or further back. This is just so good, and it utilizes all the modern Hasbro technologies. Now, the arms, I can say, are very fragile. They're very skinny, so I feel like that kind of goes without saying, but the skinned ones are fine, I think, but this robotic one, at least to me, seems to be very weak. I don't know if that's just me, but I'm very scared something might happen to it. We'll have an avalanche situation. His arm broke, but I don't think the same will happen here if I'm careful, but definitely something to keep in mind. But you do get 6, and they all move very well in all different kinds of directions, and that's awesome. And then this is articulation related, but all the hands are on vertical hinges, so that's awesome. Now her belt looks awesome. It kind of just hangs over there. And then on the torso here, you can kind of see these yellow, I don't know what it is, probably some Mojo World technology, but it's there nonetheless. And the actual, like, the whole texture of this figure, I don't know, it feels a little bit different than an actual, like, legend. Like something, I know it's the ass, but there's like a texture here, which is, I don't know if that's necessary, but it definitely is there. Same thing a little bit on the front. It might just be me, but I'm definitely feeling something here with this figure that's not normally like that on other female figures. And I don't know, that maybe is why I like this thing a little bit more, is because the quality of it also feels definitely up to standard. Everything about this screams a $50 figure, and yet it isn't. It is retail. It's $30, $35, and I think that is absolutely amazing. But I think that's everything I needed to mention with this piece, so I guess let's get on to her articulation. I can't get over how awesome this thing is, though. So the articulation on Spiral is absolutely phenomenal. You can kind of see the helmet starting to come off, but whatever. So the head goes back that much, which isn't a lot just because of all this hair. Whatever. Down, also not a lot because of the hair, but it is on that style of joint, so that's also a reason why it doesn't go all the way back, because that's as far as it would go anyway. But still, you do get a decent amount of movement, and the hair doesn't really get in the way of just turning the head, so you will be able to get a lot of awesome poses with her, just a little bit hindered, as most haired figures are. Now, the arms, this is going to be odd to demonstrate, but they all... How do I demonstrate this? This is like the first. I don't know. Do I just do one arm? That's what I think I'm going to do. So they do go up that much. Keep in mind, they are very fragile. They go down, and they can go full 360, so they have a lot of movement, and the same thing applies with all these arms, even the metal one. And then it does have a bicep swivel, double jointed, beautiful female pinless elbows, which look great. That looks awesome, and in the middle, it also looks great. And then she does have vertical hinges on all of the hands, so up, down, full 360, same thing on all of them. And she has 3 fingers and a thumb. Just a little detail to mention. Ab crunch, I do have to mention, if you're going to do ab crunch, at least have it go forward a bit, because this doesn't go forward at all, but whatever. Back, that's a decent amount. Full 360, legs kick forward that much. Back splits, upper thigh cut, double jointed, beautiful pinless knees. No boot rotation, but the ankles go up, down, and they do rotate there. They also do have ankle rocker pivot. That is really odd. That's probably Why? Because that side is kind of loose, but this is fine over here. But good articulation overall on this figure, especially with all those arms. So for comparisons, here we have the Spiral next to the long shot from this wave, as well as the long shot from the Mojo World box set, and they look very, very good together. I'm very happy that they were included in the same wave. This has been a really great year for X-Men, and I especially like how in the last quarter of 2022 we're getting all this Mojo World stuff, because I've always been fascinated by Mojo and his just his whole universe. That whole thing is just so cool to me, and I'm very happy that we're getting these figures along with it. Now, speaking of Mojo, here we have Spiral next to the Mojo World box set. Mojo, the superior Mojo. And yeah, they look really, really good together. I can't say anything other than that. She's going to go very, very well on the Mojo World display for sure. I love this figure. I think these two are in the top 10. I'm working on that right now. I'll have that coming in the next few weeks, but I don't know. These two are really, really good figures. And then here we have Spiral next to the Love Triangle 3-pack Wolverine with the head from the Wolverine in this wave, as well as the Love Triangle 3-pack Cyclops. And then here we have some other X-Men female type characters. Here we have Mystique, as well as the retro carded Rogue. And then here we have some other X-Men characters. We have Jubilee. We have the retro carded Beast. This is the animated Jubilee, as well as Shatterstar. I believe that's his name. I don't know why I'm second guessing that. I'm pretty sure that's his name, Shatterstar. But for some reason, if I'm wrong, correct me. Now, because Spiral is the final figure in this wave, I am going to do the ranking with her. Now, overall, this wave has been interesting. I don't think it's one of Hasbro's best. There's definitely a lot of ups, but there is a couple downs here, being the Avalanche and kind of the Multiple Man. But the rest of it is pretty good. It also is kind of not as high up for waves as me, because I technically already have a long shot. I did want this long shot, but it is a reuse to me. Avalanche is essentially our reused. Multiple Man is Wolverine. Yes, pinless, but essentially reuse. And then the Dark Phoenix is really cool to get. But this is obviously the cherry on top. I don't care about any of that. Just if that was what we needed to get this figure, I'm more than okay with that, because they really nailed this piece. Now, for my ranking, you're worst. I didn't even have to finish the sentence there. And then I'm going to give it to the Multiple Man. Good figure. Just, these are better. Then I think I'm going to have to give it to the Long Shot. But on a basis of just these two figures, I would say that the Long Shot's better. I'm just going to say that the Wolverine is a little bit better because, A, it's pinless. They really did a good job on this with the heads and everything. And this is technically a reuse from the other Mojo World box set that was included with him. So there isn't a lot of new there, but that is a great figure. Don't get me wrong. Everything about that is perfect for Long Shot. I just essentially had that figure already. I'm very happy to have that design, though. Then I'm going to give it to... Then I'm going to put her over here, I think. Is that right? Is it because I know Spiral's the best. That kind of goes without saying. But then who's the second best? I don't know. I think it's between these two. Now, I think right now I'm leaning towards Wolverine because Phoenix, for some reason, or Dark Phoenix, her head seems to be a little bit loose. Now it's not because I'm on camera, but I don't know. That might just because I had it in a certain pose, but this piece is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I'm taking up so much time, but I think I'm going to have to give... Okay. I think I'm going to have to give it... I'm going to have to do this. It's essentially tied. That's my point on it. Is I'm very tight on these, but I think right now at this moment... I think these two are the best two figures from this wave. But that is my ranking on this wave. Please give me your ranking on this in the comments below. I always like hearing your guys' thoughts and your different opinions. It's definitely something that I always want to see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the wave. So overall, I'm going to leave them in frame because this is the final video from this wave. Overall, my final thoughts on this Spiral figure. I think this is awesome. This is truly truly awesome. This is something that comes out and reminds me why I collect Legends, and this just, if I ever slowly start to slip out of the line or anything, or I just, you know, not feeling it, they do something like this, and this is exactly why I collect Legends, to get these awesome characters, this entirely new sculpt. So much effort was put into this thing, and I can't ignore that. So at the price point of $30, $35, this piece to me is a 9.9 out of 10. Nah. Is there anything on this that would... Okay, I think it's a 9.8. Let me just be a little more realistic. The foot, that's a little bit of an issue, but that's just QC. And the arms, I do have to say, are a little bit flimsy, and I think she could have been included with a little bit more extra hands. But other than that, this piece is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this. If you want a spiral, you guaranteed will not be disappointed by this piece. That's how good it is. But that is just my thoughts on it. As always, let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below. Is it as good as I say? Is it not? Just start a conversation down there and I will join in as always. But until my next video, thank you all so much for watching my videos on this wave. I have some very, very, very cool videos coming up. Should I say? No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. But yes, thank you so much for watching the Spiral review, as well as hopefully the others. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you in my next video. But until then, you know who? I'm going to stab you. Bye, guys.